Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm going to get started. We have some announcements this morning, and we're going to start with those. Are you ready for us, Tracy? And how about Mary Lee? How you doing?
Fine.
Okay, good. Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for transitioning to Zoom with us. And we may have a little bit of that need to communicate about technology as we go along, but we have our trusted, fabulous tech folks that know exactly what to do. So we should be just fine. And I am so glad to see all of you this morning. Cold and snowy and wet out there. I'm glad we didn't drive. So the first announcement is we're very, very excited. The stewardship team has prepared a kickoff brunch for us next Sunday morning. We're going to put worship in brunch mode or brunch in worship mode, whichever way you like to think of it. And it's Mardi Gras theme, and it's going to be so much fun. And they're sending out all the stewardship materials so that you can take a look at those and think about your pledging for the coming budget year. Remember, those pledges are how we figure out how much fantastic ministry we can do together next year. We get that prediction and that budget from those pledges that we so appreciate. And we're going to have a fabulous brunch. It's going to be so much fun. So we'd love to see you, and we hope there's no snow and we can all come in person and celebrate together. And bring your pledge cards, even symbolically, if you have a pledge card you want to turn in, because we're going to have a little ritual for that. And of course, you can pledge online too. There's lots of ways to do it. Stewardship's exciting. It's a lot of fun because it means we love and care about our wonderful community and each other. And it gives us a chance to collectively support this place that we all love. So that's exciting, 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 exciting. There is still time to sign up. Nathan's online with us today. And we are starting our Soul Matters small group ministry, which is truly wonderful and amazing. There's online groups, there's in-person groups. Those are going to be held in the third week of every month to give us a chance to work with the packet that comes out on the first of the month. So you can contact Nathan, and Nathan will help you get involved in one of those groups. And then we're also doing something called Starting Point, which is a 4-session class. It's sort of like, for those of you who remember A Chosen Faith, to learn about Unitarian Universalism and learn about our congregation for newcomers. And it's also for longer members who've been with us and just want to check it out and maybe learn more about Unitarian Universalism. So that's going to be a 4-session program that begins, it's going to be Sundays after worship, starting on the 18th. And we're going to put that schedule out. And once again, you can register with Nathan. And then the Trans Support Reno, this is exciting. They're having their Cupid Queer Valentine's Day Festival in our sanctuary this Friday from 10 to 4. And that's a wonderful opportunity to support Trans Support Reno, our dear ones, and get some really wonderful gifts and things for Valentine's Day. So that's this coming Friday, February 9th. And then we are sending out a survey from the transition team. Hopefully you've gotten an email to that effect, and we want you to give us your feedback on the first round of topics that we discussed at our first transition meeting: leadership, management, governance, music. We need some music feedback because we're working on hiring a new music director, and administration and staffing. So there's a chance to give us your individual thoughts, and there'll be a lot more opportunities to get together because it's a super magic that happens when we discuss together. Let's see, do we have prelude music on tap? Tech folk.
No, we just have the 3 hymns.
Okay, where's Rosie? Rosie, are you here? No? Yes? Where are my singers? Does anybody know how to sing? I can't sing to y'all. You don't want me to do that. All right. Well, let's imagine. Think of your favorite song and see if you can imagine it playing for just a few moments while we gather. We're waiting. We have a lot of people popping in. This is what I like about Zoom. I can see you popping in. And it's fun to do that. So we'll take a couple of moments and pop in together. choice. Good choice. Our audio's going in and out a little bit on my end. Beautiful. That's perfect. We sure hope the sun comes back soon. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. I'm the Reverend Shelley Thompson. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm the interim minister for UUFNN, much to my delight. I want to welcome everybody, whether you're new to us or you've been here 1,000 times. We are so glad to be together. This place, even our Zoom room, is made sacred by our presence with one another in loving community. We want to take the time to acknowledge that we are on the traditional lands of the Washoe, the Shoshone, and the Paiute people who have long been good stewards of this place, and we take seriously our responsibility to do the same. We are blessed indeed to have the technology and the capability of still connecting even when the weather turns on us and we are not able to be in person. It is a wonderful day when our dress code includes jammies and bathrobes and comfy sweats, and you don't have to wait for coffee time. You can have your coffee right now. Let's have some coffee together. And today we're going to be talking with some of our leaders about the state of the congregation, sort of like we have a State of the Union address for the United States. UUFNN has a State of the Congregation. And it's going to keep us informed. It's going to help us lean into also this work of this transition time that is sometimes so slippery. What is it we're doing? Where are we going? And we like to think about that together and talk about it together because that's where we get our best ideas. And that's how we know that we're on the same page with one another and getting everybody's input. So it's a great thing to have this opportunity. And we are blessed that Jackie's with us today and David and Nathan to fill in some of what's been going on. I've lit my chalice here at home. I hope you have a chalice or a candle or an electric candle that you can light at home too. And I have the words of Reverend Maureen Killoran. As we weather winds of change, may we have wisdom to cherish moments of stillness. As we recollect times of challenge and pain, may we remember also the graceful blessings of our lives. As we look to future unknowns, may we have the boldness to trust that there is unimagined good yet to come. Please now enjoy this a cappella version of We Laugh, We Cry.
We laugh, we cry, we live, we die, we dance, we sing our song. We need to feel there's something here to which we can belong. We need to feel the freedom just to have some time alone. But most of all, we need close friends we call our very own. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. Yes, we have found a need to be together. We have our hearts to give. We have our thoughts to receive. And we believe that sharing is an answer. We seek an honest answer to the questions of this life. We seek to put an end to all the waste of human strife. We search for truth, equality, and healthy peace of mind. And then we come together here to talk of what we find. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. Yes, we have found a need to be together. We have our hearts to give. We have our thoughts to receive. And we believe that learning is an answer. Yes, we believe in life and in the strength of love. Yes, we have found a need to be together. And in our search for peace, maybe we'll finally see, even to question truly is our answer.
Now that we've had a chance to settle in and get comfy together, put your screen in gallery mode where you can see everybody's beautiful faces if you haven't already, and go ahead and chat hello to one another, greet your neighbors, say hello, wave, all this good stuff. It's our time to greet one another. Hi, Billy Lee.
Is that Lois Bianchi or is that Dave with that fabulous Minecraft?
Lois, and I want to remind everybody to come next week with their Mardi Gras stuff.
Great, bring your beads, bring your hats,
Right.
bring your
Yeah,
happy attitude. That's dedication, my dear ones.
That's right.
Good morning, good morning.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, I love you. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad you're all home safe and warm. That makes me happy.
Here's my cursor.
Still got a couple of people coming in to join us. That's good. So nice to see you. Hi, Beverly. Hi to all of you who are on Zoom all the time. Thank you for letting us crash. We're glad to be here with you.
Hi, everybody. It's Pat Perky Entwistle. I haven't seen you all in a long time, but I'm loving seeing you now. Now go out there and have a snowball fight.
That's right. Oh, it's really mushy snow. You're going to get soaked. Anybody else want to say hi? Don't be shy. I know you're not shy.
Hi, this is Penny, and I was listening to On the Media, and they had some very interesting discussion on immigration and stuff I didn't know. So I'll have to listen to that afterwards, and maybe I'll put that in an email to the ARC group.
That would be great. Thank you so much. It's good to hear from you. All right. Well, I don't have my singing bowl. It's at church. So we'll have our regrouping is a little easier when we're all on mute, isn't it? Since our order of service is a little bit different today, we're going to have special speakers. We're going to have our joys and sorrows meditation time together here now. We pause, as is our honored custom, for the joys and sorrows of life. We hold one another close in spirit, in our hearts. We give comfort, we support one another. We want to be together to share the fullness of our lives. We remember, especially on a day like today, that there are so many in our community that are unhoused, who are hungry, who are in need. And we are truly grateful for all those in our community and beyond who are dedicated to easing that suffering and working to improve the resources available to all who are in need. Of course, our thoughts continue to go to the Middle East, where the crisis rages on, the ongoing war in Ukraine, where resources are running low, people are still suffering. And everywhere around the world, we know sadly we can't name all the places where there is violence and warfare and oppression. But it breaks our hearts to know it's true, and we send our love and our light into the world. And we work hard to make our little corner of it a brighter, more loving place. In the spirit of joy and goodness, recently on a flight from Belfast, Ireland to Lanzarote, there was a folk singing trio who pulled out their fiddles and started singing and fiddling a fabulous Irish folk tune about Las Vegas in Ireland. It's a folk song, apparently, and just to the delight of all the passengers, one of them who knew the traditional Irish dancing, like river dance, and she jumped up and started dancing in the aisles. It was just fabulous. Sometimes the beauty of people catches us by surprise and makes us smile, and that kind of spontaneous love for one another. It reminds me of Thomas Merton, the famous Christian mystic, who said, "How do we explain to these people that they're all going around shining like the sun?" He said he loves all of us. And I know that feeling. That is good news. So please, in your chat box now, if you have candles at home you'd like to light, you may do that. Share with us in the chat what's on your hearts, what's happening in your lives that you want us to know about, so that we can give you all our love and support today. And while we do that, we will listen to the beautiful song from Reverend Rebecca Parker, "There Is a Love."
There is
Thank you all for sharing with us. As you can see, the outpouring of love and support whenever we're in need is always there. You know, you can ask, and we will all be there when you need us. Some of you may remember from 2 weeks ago, I talked about interim ministry again in worship. What is it? Let's remind ourselves. What are the tasks? Heritage, leadership, connection, regrouping, all of the good things that come with this challenging interim time. And I talked about the fact that we're making progress on that. We have a transitions team that is underway and having meetings with all of us. The board is working hard. Your committee on shared ministry is working hard. So many wonderful things are continuing to happen in the regular way of church, with communities and connections growing all the time. We're grateful to be honoring receiving guests and honoring new members at this time. We'll have a celebration of that soon. And we did have a very good conversation last week with the transition team. About 30 of you were there, and we would have loved to have even more time, even though we were all thoroughly ready to go home by the time we were done, I think. It was a great conversation, and we started it by thinking about the purpose of UUFNN. And so I'd like you to think about that a little bit as we hear from our wonderful leaders, and then we'll have a time to meditate on that at the end. And from my point of view, I continue to be impressed by the commitment that you show to one another and the ministries that you care for so deeply. This is such a rich, beautiful community. And I know that transition sometimes is too fast for our taste. Sometimes it's difficult, sometimes it's painful, or just sometimes we just don't want to do it. But I also know that this community has the resilience, the imagination, the determination, and the love to keep on moving forward and carry with you all that is right and good, while adapting and creating new ways of being together and helping the world become a better, more loving place, because we're in it together. I am excited about all the ministry that's happening and all the work that we're doing and all the possibilities that you will bring to life in the coming years. We will hear first from our fabulous board president, Jackie Riley. Take it away, Jackie.
Oh, well, surprise everyone. I'm not Jackie.
Surprise!
Jackie was feeling a little bit under the weather and asked that I read the report for her. So bear with me, because Jackie is a great speaker, and I'm just glad that all of you are here today. My name is Linda Bowman. My pronouns are she and her, and I've been a member of UUFNN for over 10 years. I am one of the co-presidents elect at UUFNN. I'm reading Jackie's report, so it's going to be a little bit different. Anyway, Jackie has been a member for over 30 years. She writes that she feels very privileged serving as the president of our board of trustees of our church this year. She wanted you all to know that we are in very good hands. We are fully staffed. Our staff are committed to UUFNN and are going through this transition time with us. A fun fact, on June 13th, our office administrator, Carol Sorensen, will be celebrating her 17th year at UUFNN. Who knew that? We have great leadership teams, the board, committee on shared ministry, transition team, legacy committee, finance committee, tech team, readers, worship team, our choir, and our membership team. Our leaders are strong, caring, and loving people who care deeply about our congregation and volunteer so many hours for caring for all of us. Andrea Caldwell has been our treasurer for 7 years. Dave Hutchison has been on the finance committee for 6 years and has served as our chairman for 4 years. So big shout out to those two. Our wonderful transition team has been meeting, started gathering information from the congregation, and are preparing to complete the 6-month interim ministry appraisal. And now a big drum roll, please. This year, UUFNN will be celebrating our 65th anniversary. So watch for news to come on that, because that, you know, we love to party, so that'll be a great treat for all of us. During the early days of COVID, some things were overlooked. Just to recap what we've been doing. We had not replaced the fire alarm panel and had it tested in a couple years. But good news is we completed that this fall. Last year, we learned that the fire system in our administrative building had not been updated since 2007. Thanks to our past president, Adrian Fisher, we have the contract to bring everything up to date. The fire panel, the alarms, and the fire extinguishers. So we're in good shape. As you know, our HVAC system has been in need of repair. The contract to order the parts and start the work was signed this week. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone. A special thank you to our HVAC team led by Philip Moore. More good news. After about 20 years of one-person building committee, thank you, Dennis Conley, we now have a 3-person committee and 2 more potential members. Of course, we could use a few more folks. It's a big building. So if you're interested in joining this committee, please let the board know. Just shoot us an email and we'll get you hooked up. Our safety and security task force led by Cress Picars has been hard and at work and almost completed their review of our policies. They are forming a safer congregation team and a rapid response team with training for all. Our building use task force, led by Chris Hyland, has been very hard at work for over a year. They've done a lot of cleaning, done an inventory, and have plans for painting. Of course, we'll need to have some trained event monitors and work crews to set up and take down for our events. So that's a new need that we're going to be looking for help for. Excuse me. And they are also working on safety and emergency response. So we are also in need of some more volunteers for some more tasks. We need help caring for our spiritual home, just as you care for the home that you live in. You don't need to commit to doing a major task, although we do have some of those needs, but helping once a month or even less is really, really helpful. It takes all of us. The list of needs for our volunteer tasks or groups are the finance committee, a treasurer, event monitors, safer congregation committee, emergency rapid response team, postcard writing for You the Vote, readers, membership committee, RE teachers, an auction chairperson, and team members. Right now though, this is important. If you are a volunteer of anyone on this Zoom today, could you either place the thumbs up or put your hand, give us a wave if you are any kind of a volunteer for anything. Look around, everyone. We are in great hands. We have some great team members, and it takes a lot. And thank you to every one of you out there. It takes all of us doing what we can to care for our spiritual home and each other. If any of these tasks seem of interest to you, please let any of our board members know that you are interested in helping care for UFNN. And again, thank you all.
Thank you, Linda. I'm Dave Hutchison, Chair of the Finance Committee, and I have about 5 minutes or so to give you a report of our financial condition. When I've given this report in the past few years, I've reported with some detail that our financial position is sound and talked about the strength of our operational reserves and our strong working capital position and our favorable uncommitted cash on hand. All that is still true today. We pay our bills timely and our mortgages are only major debt. What I want to focus on today are those financial challenges and concerns that we are currently facing and those that we will face for the rest of the fiscal year. So let me spend a few minutes talking about our concerns, and after that I will update you on our current fundraising projects. Let me quickly mention that for the first 2 quarters of this fiscal year ending December 31st, we've missed our operating budget by $4,000. By itself, $4,000 miss of a budget at this point in time is not really that alarming. However, I want to address some of the concerns that are part of that number. First, through December, our pledge income is $12,000 under budget. This is probably due to timing of how people are paying their pledge, and normally we would not be concerned at this point. But last fiscal year, we ended up with $30,000 of unfulfilled pledges. We expect some runoff, and we also discount that the total raised from our pledge drive to account for some runoff. You know, people die, people move out of town, and even the transition can be difficult for some. But $30,000 unfulfilled pledge is high based on our past experience. Our concern is the current $12,000 pledge under budget amount an indication of what might happen again this year? We hope not. We're hoping it's just timing of pledge payments, but we will be watching that. Our second concern is we do not have a chairperson for the auction scheduled for May. We've budgeted $22,000 of auction income and would really hate to lose that income. Thirdly, our operating expenses are $8,000 under budget. That's a good thing. However, this is because several expense lines have not yet used their budget allocation, and we know several other expense lines will be over budget by the end of the fiscal year. So meeting our projected break-even operating budget for this fiscal year will be a challenge. Now, let me give you some good news. When I would meet with Reverend Karen to talk finances, she would often say to me, "Hutch, don't worry, the fellowship will stand up." The past few months you have been asked, you've had multiple asks for donations. Let me tell you how the fellowship has stepped up. First, you were asked to contribute to the Legacy Fund. A year ago, the Legacy Fund was $180,000. Now it's over $220,000. Some of that is market run-up for sure, but most of it is the result of your donations. The fellowship stepped up for Legacy. Second, as you know, we currently have the large HVAC system capital project underway. Our original cost projection for the capital project was estimated at $150,000. Recent changes to the HVAC system design and the engineering systems have reduced that total to $100,000. Our ongoing capital campaign has already raised $70,000. A huge thank you to Lloyd Rogers and his campaign team for that wonderful result. Now, with that $70,000 from the capital campaign and $50,000 of tax refunds from the employee retention tax credit received, and also $5,000 contribution from the Hanson Fund, we have raised $125,000. That means it is unlikely we will have to dip into our operational reserves or to obtain a loan to cover the cost of the capital project. This is a major relief and very good news. Once again, the fellowship stepped up for the capital campaign. Finally, next Sunday, the annual stewardship campaign will kick off. You will again be asked to step up and make your pledge for the new fiscal year. The amount of pledges received will form the basis for our budget for the next fiscal year. In the campaign materials that were sent out, you will see a bar graph of all the sources of our fellowship income. Take a moment to look at it. You'll see one very tall bar that represents our income from pledges. You will see that pledge income is 88% of our total budget. This is to show you how very important, how very meaningful your pledge will be. It funds our fellowship operations, pays our staff, and funds our programs. So let me conclude by giving you an earworm, and that I hope that it will be stuck in your head. Here it is. Hutch, don't worry, the fellowship will step up. Hutch, don't worry, the fellowship will step up. Thank you.
I believe I am speaking next. Hello, everybody. My name is Nathan Bakken. I use they, them pronouns, and I am the Director of Transformational Learning and Faith Exploration here at UUFNN. And in reflecting and preparing for my time with you all, which I have about 5 minutes, as with everyone else, I want to take this opportunity and share that oftentimes when people historically have thought of my position, they think director of religious education, and they think Sunday schools, they think children and family, they think where are the kids? And when you look at my job description, I actually oversee lifespan learning. And so I'm not just a resource for family and children, I'm a resource for everybody. And so I want to break my conversation, my sharing today, into 2 chunks. One talking about family and children, and one talking about adults and older adults. And to really speak to the lifespan aspect of my position. Here at UUFNN, we find ourselves in a situation very similar to the rest of faith communities around the country. We find ourselves in a moment where we are competing with our programs with overscheduled, overbooked children who have a lot going on. And at the same time, we have an amazing team of volunteers and staff people. We have the privilege of being able to offer childcare every Sunday in person, thanks to Carrie Malden, our nursery attendant, thanks to Linda and Nancy and Mary Ann and our nursery volunteers. Even on those days where there are no children in the nursery, we have an option. And that is something worth celebrating. I've been in a lot of conversations with DRE, with directors of religious ed in the Pacific Western region and the UUA at large, about how do we not so much get our children back, but rather how do we create opportunities and experiences that support our children. And I've been implementing some of those recommendations from the UUA and the PWR of focusing on a cohort model, which is the reason our RE is centered between 2nd and 5th grade. We don't have the resources to have a multi-generational cohort of youth. I'm really privileged to be designing and supporting our RE program alongside our RE committee, thanks to Elise, Midori, Lois, David, Laura, and Kim. We have a really stellar team of adults and parents who care about how our kids can be supported in this place. And a question that I've been sitting with over the last 1.5 years, that my committee's been sitting with, is how do we take UUFNN and ask ourselves, where do children find themselves here? We've created our focus station for kids who don't feel comfortable meeting strangers and going to an RE classroom. We have fidget toys, we have coloring pads, we have ways to keep children engaged during service. We have Elise led the drive of creating our craft table out in the gathering room, so children have a place to be in the gathering space, have activities to do, ways to be engaged. And what's, I think, most exciting is I've been in conversation with Kristen Famila, the previous DRE here at UUFNN, and her team of Sam and Marina, who are working with the PWR in leading visioning retreats and workshops to help congregations imagine what is the future of youth and young adult ministry. We get the privilege, some of the leaders on a variety of different teams are going to be meeting with that group on March 2nd. We are going to be asking, what is the future of youth and young adult ministries here at UUFNN? How do we as leaders, as adults, as members, when you walk in, ask yourself, how does a child find this place exciting, accessible, engaging, a place that kids wake up on Sunday morning and say, I want to go there? And that isn't something I can solve on my own. It's not something the RE committee can solve on our own. It's going to require the entire community of UUFNN. When a child gets excited or wanders around the sanctuary, how do you respond to that child is a question to ask yourself. How do I invite that child to be their full self in this space? And so I don't have a lot of answers, but it is this live question that as we go through this transition over the next year and a half, that is a question we as a community have to answer. How do we imagine children here? How does our space invite children to be here? Where do children walk in and say, I see myself here because I'm an artist, I'm a musician, I'm a thinker, a question asker, a problem solver, a gardener? How do we as a community nurture the spirits of our children? So as I pivot, because I have like 2 minutes left, on the adult front, I am really privileged because I have a community of lifelong learners. Y'all make my job really easy sometimes because we have book clubs. We have the ARC book club led by Lily and Mary and Jackie. We have our forum, which is a delight and an offer. And I was at the forum this morning. Thank you to Kevin Murphy and our amazing team that makes forum happen every year. We have, as Reverend Shelley said at the beginning of the service, we're starting 2 different small group opportunities. One is Soul Matters, which is about spiritual deepening. And I've had the privilege of doing a couple sessions with my facilitators, and it is a beautiful opportunity to connect with members of this community, to reflect on your own lived experience, and to foster and strengthen that connection. I really do want to recommend folks the information for sign up. You can email me at nathan@UUFNN. The sign up form is in the e-news. I really do want to uplift that this is an opportunity. If you are sitting here being like, I want to feel connected to this place, this is an opportunity for connection. Our other opportunity for connection is Starting Point, which is a path to membership. So if you are not a member yet and you're discerning, do I want to be here? What is Unitarian Universalism? Starting Point is a great opportunity. And I also want to encourage members of this community to do Starting Point. It's a great opportunity for you to refresh your understanding of, why did I become a member here? What was my starting point at this place? And Leah Case and I are going to be leading a Zoom Starting Point group, and Reverend Shelley and Deborah Graham are going to be leading an in-person Starting Point group. So there's an opportunity to find connection and build relationship and center around, why am I here? Why am I in this community? What do I want to bring to this community? How do I want to be a part of it? And what does my lived experience offer me in that connection building? So if you're interested in participating in Starting Point or interested in Soul Matters, please email me, Nathan@UUFNN. The Soul Matters groups are limited. Each group is going to be 6 people. So the spots, when they fill up, they will fill up, and I'm not going to have room for everybody. But hopefully next year, I'll have more facilitators and we can have more groups and more opportunities to connect. And finally, I want to just uplift Stretching Our Spirits, which is our forum complimentary offering for all ages, really. And it's Sunday mornings, 2 Sundays a month of spiritual exploration. We have a core little group that meets around our poetry meditations. We had a tarot meditation in January that had 11 people at. That was really, really beautiful and powerful. Next Sunday before service, we are going to be crafting chalices out of clay. We did it last year. If you come to a Zoom service and you're like, light a chalice, and you say, I don't have a chalice, next Sunday, you can come and make a chalice with me and talk about why we even do it. So it's a great opportunity. We have a lot of stuff going on, and we are a community that is engaged and creative, and I'm grateful to be serving it. So thank you, and thank you to all my volunteers. And if you're interested in volunteering, reach out to me. I need RE teachers to make RE happen. I need nursery attendants to make the nursery happen. I need people to hang out to make it happen. So please let me know. Thank you.
Hey, Nathan. Thank you to Linda and Dave and Nathan for those exciting and inspiring and thought-provoking updates. And we have some time now. If you have questions for these folks, we'll try to get to as many as we can if you want to type those in the chat. And what's really helpful actually is if you find down at the bottom of your screen, there's a little smiley face that says reactions. And if you click that, it'll pop up and there's a raise your hand. And the neat thing about raise your hand is since we're on multiple screens here with so many people, it puts you in order in a list so we know who to call on next. And that is the easiest way for us to answer questions and make sure we get to absolutely everybody, since we can't see all of your lovely faces simultaneously. So if you want to ask a question of these good folks, go ahead and raise your hand. And of course, you're also welcome to put questions in the chat, and I'm going to keep an eye on those and we can answer those for you to the best of our ability. No questions. Our presenters did such a good job. There's plenty of room for questions later. Don't think it's your only opportunity.
No.
I did want to say about pledging, we're getting started on that, and with your materials coming, there's good information in there. And the main thing we want everyone to remember is that we all give time, talent, and treasure to this organization. And when it comes to pledging, there's no specific amount that we're looking for. We're simply looking for you to say, it feels good to support this place that I love. So we want you to give the amount that feels good, that you feel happy. You're able to contribute and let other people experience the good things that you do here. So it's never meant to be a burden. If someone from stewardship calls you, answer the phone. They're really nice people and they just want to talk with you about how much we all love this place. So that's my little plug for stewardship and for all of us to be able to talk about that it really is your financial support that keeps us going. But that financial support comes from your spirits. It comes from your values. It comes from your heart. And we love you so much for that. So talk to each other about it. Or if it makes you nervous, you can come and talk to me. It's all confidential. We're happy to share with you what we know about this process and keep everything going. So thank you for that. And yes, we had a question about how to check on your pledge. What did you pledge and what's the update? And our beloved treasurer, Andrea, can answer those questions for you and give you a printed statement and all of that good stuff. So we're going to stay on Zoom for a while longer. The next thing I'm going to do here is actually our offering. That's our customary way of generously giving ritually every week to one another. And as we've been discussing, there's so many reasons to support this organization. We love it. We love it. And I'm sure you all have your own reasons. And if you'd like to type those in the chat while we're doing an offering, we're going to put up this.
I was unmuted again. I heard my voice come.
Sheila's having trouble with her mute button. Hi, Sheila.
Who's unmuting
Say
me?
something, honey.
I want to be muted.
I'm trying to mute you and you keep unmuting somehow.
I won't.
You're muted. You're good. Thank you, sweetie. It's always good to hear your voice. So you can type into the chat why you give generously to this place, why you love us, why you love coming here. And I believe, Tracy or Worship, we have a slide that shows that there's lots of different ways to give. And we'll take a few moments to do that. Okay, now that we've given generously to UUFNN, it is February. This is our first Sunday. We were going to have a guest speaker, and unfortunately, the weather has prevented that this week. We certainly hope that we'll be able to bring her in some other time this month. But we have the most fabulous organization for Share the Plate this month. It's called Operation Alliance Nevada. And they are an organization that gives support to those in financial distress, people who've experienced poverty, and they do everything in their power to remove barriers and help people overcome that level of financial distress and manage their money well and get good jobs and get good pay. It's amazing. It says they empower financial resiliency. And let me just tell you a little bit about them. Their mission is to build self-sufficiency and financial stability for all Nevadans and bring sustainable communities across Nevada to stabilize and improve the lives of individuals and families. That sounds like people we can really get behind. It says Opportunity Alliance Nevada brings together resources and people from diverse socioeconomic backgrounds to investigate and understand the barriers faced by struggling low to moderate income Nevadans and provide pathways to self-sufficiency. This is an amazing thing. It says they accomplish this through training, financial coaching, mentorship, advocacy, partnerships, and collaborations, focusing on the needs of low to moderate income, financially insecure Nevadans. It's a very worthy cause, and I'm going to put their website in the chat for us, and certainly that's one way that you can donate to them directly on the internet and show them some love for the fact that they do such wonderful work that we know is something we support and cannot do on our own. We count on our community partners. So here comes that link in the chat, and we thank you to Lily Egan for being our Share the Plate coordinator. Woohoo! The time frame for the pledge campaign, I saw that question. It is going to be running officially starting now. Our kickoff is next Sunday, and it'll be for 4 weeks. Every Sunday we'll talk about it. We're going to hear testimonies from people who love this place. And March 3rd will be the final day officially of the campaign. So that gives everybody a chance to find out how to pledge and ask any questions that you have and think about your budgets for the coming year and decide what you want to share with us. And certainly the stewardship team loves to answer questions and talk about stewardship. And I do too. I'm a big cheerleader for this place. So feel free to continue to ask those questions. If you need help with pledging, stewardship team is also going to be around on Sunday mornings, and we're happy to help you do that too. So we want this to be a community-wide project that we undertake together, and we support all of you in making that happen in a way that feels good to you. All right, who remembers the dedication of the offering words? Does anybody want to lead it? Here they are. We can read them together. To the work of this fellowship,
which is helping more people grow in love, faith, and joy.
You will dedicate ourselves.
And these are offerings.
It's a chorus with Zoom lag, isn't it? Very fun.
Now my video is back again.
Hi, Sheila. Are you having button issues today, darling? And Linda says, oh yes, a good reminder. Linda, who is of course co-chair of stewardship this year, is going to be on Zoom next week, so that anybody on Zoom who has questions that are coming out of our stewardship presentation next week can ask those questions and get help with pledging and chat with Linda, who's there to help. So let's finish off with extinguishing our chalice. I have the words of Martha Capo. Our time together is finished, but our work is not yet done. May our spirits be renewed and our purpose resolved as we meet the challenges of the week to come. The chalice flame is extinguished until once again ignited by the strength of our communion. Amen. And now we will enjoy some coffee chat and breakouts and get a chance to spend some time together as soon as we're going to hear this lovely music from the Waylon Jennings. It's a beautiful song called One Voice. And during the time when we're listening to this beautiful music together, your meditation question is to think about the purpose of UUFNN in your own life and what that means to you. And I have a quote from Desmond Tutu to meditate on as we listen. He said, "We are made to tell the world that there are no outsiders. We are made to tell the world that there are no outsiders." I love that. And it reminds me of the purpose of this beautiful community. Thank you for gathering with us today, and please enjoy One Voice and stay on for coffee.
This is the sound of one voice, one spirit, one voice, the sound of one who makes a choice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of voices too. The sound of me singing with you, helping each other to make it through. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices three, sing together in harmony, surrendering to the mystery. This is the sound of voices three. This is the sound of voices three. This is the sound of all of us, sing with love and a will to trust. Leave the rest behind, it'll turn to dust. This is the sound of all of us. This is the sound of all of us. This is the sound of one voice, one people, one voice, a song for every one of us. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice.
Thank you, everybody. Breakout rooms are coming.